So this is the Excel analysis of the Freestyle Libre for Derby data, looking at HbA1c before and HbA1c after. So this is the Derby data, which consists of 370 patients. So in order to do the analysis, I'll highlight that first and press insert onto a pivot table and press OK. So this will appear on the pivot table, and you can see the fields on the right, all the columns. So the first thing I would do is to add a patient identifier, which is that. So clicking that will immediately put the patient identifier in the columns here. Because there are several visits, to ensure that the columns are correctly labeled, I'll have to put the visit number in the column section. And now, because we're assessing HbA1c before and HbA1c after, I'll have a look at the column for HbA1c. I'll choose the HbA1c at baseline, which is the first one, and I'll use the millimoles. So I'll drag that to values. And then I'm going to find the HbA1c after, which should come up in the follow-up section. Follow-up HbA1c, and again I want to make sure that it's in millimoles per mole, which is this one, and I'll drag it into values. So now you've got this column here, HbA1c before, and then you've got HbA1c after. So in order to do analysis, I'll have to highlight this in order to transfer it onto a different Excel sheet. Okay, so that's that. Copy and paste. Okay, so I'll label this HbA1c analysis, and this is before. And then I'll go back to the sheet. So I'm going to find this is the HbA1c follow-up values. So again, I'm going to highlight it in order to copy into the different sheet. So copy, and then after I'll just put, so it's Control V to paste it, and that's after. Okay, so now you've got two columns before and after, but in the after value, as you'd expect, there are some missing data. So what I'm going to do is to ensure that I'm analyzing for all patients who has before and after HbA1c value. So for that, I'll need to sort it. So I'll highlight that, go on to data, go on to sort, and then you'll sort it for C, because you want to make sure that you've got post value. So sort for C. So now we can discard the columns that don't have post data. So I'm going to copy and paste. So this is HbA1c before, and this is HbA1c after. So now you've got two columns, one before, one after, for approximately 110 patients. So in order to calculate the mean, I'll put mean here. I'll use simple Excel function equals average, brackets, and highlight that, and close brackets. So that's the mean HbA1c before. Click that and ensure that you've got that little plus sign at the bottom right, and then you drag it to do the same calculation for after. So now you can see the mean HbA1c before Freestyle Libre is 61.8, and the mean HbA1c after is 56.8. To calculate standard deviation, I'll just highlight that again, and close brackets, return, and then again click that, find that little plus sign there and drag it to do the same calculation. So you've got mean and standard deviation. And then in order to see whether the reduction in HbA1c from 61.8 to 56.8 is significant, you can do a simple t-test. So you click on that cell there, and you go on to formula, insert function, t-test. So array 1 will be this. Array 2 will be this. Two-tail and unequal variance. So this is significant, P is 0.005. But this is for a single HbA1c, and we have a 5 baseline HbA1c value. So that's the analysis for HbA1c before and after Freestyle Libre using the Excel Derby data.